call me? Zipsa.
And we're live, by the way, on that note.
Hello, Earth.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Dire Bear Adventuring Company. I am your GM, DM, the guy who runs the show, Captain Sack, also known as Heath. And we are starting a little early so that we can do recap. And because I am unboxing the Icons of the Realm Monster Menagerie 3 here at Lucky Dice Cafe, where they have a plethora of these. You can order them online at www.luckydicecafe.com, or if you are in Huntsville, Alabama, we are on South Parkway. Please stop by, say hi, grab a sandwich. They've got great food, fun games, always have something going on. You can check them out there on Facebook under Lucky Dice Cafe, and I am very proud to have them host me every week, and we will be doing an unboxing next week as well. So, with that being said, let's get into the box. Let's see if I can't tear the box. You know what would have gone good with the prep time is to pull the tape off the side of the box. So, but this way it feels more real.
You know what they say about hindsight.
All right, so let's see what we've got in the box. Well, I'm sad to say that there is only one. Oh, there's a couple in there. You could get something like, let's see, they have the Frost Giant Everlasting one, the Ulitherid, the Fire Giant Dreadnought, which has these really cool, like, shields on its arms.
Oh, I love Dreadnoughts. They're so cool.
Or it has also a Quadrone. You can get a little Quadrone in there.
Oh, sweet.
You can get the Fire Giant Everlasting one. You also have a chance to get a Nameless one, a Mouth of Grolantor, a Dragonborn Male Fighter, or a Goblin Hucker, which is basically, the Goblin Hucker, check that thing out. It's basically an ogre with a goblin catapult on its back. Tell me that is not one of the most awesome things ever. So what we have in here today, however, is a Stone Giant Dreamwalker. Check this guy out. Look at that.
That is cool.
All of the Icons of the Realm, and again, this is the Monster Menagerie 3. They're painted, so they are ready to go out of the box. And again, this is the Stone Giant Dreamwalker. That looks pretty awesome.
That is really cool.
And what else did we get? Well, let me tell you. They've got little pop things. And while I'm unlocking or unpackaging all of these, for all of our newcomers to Dire Bear Adventuring Company, hello and welcome. Again, I am your DM, GM, the guy who runs the story. Actually, I'm just the narrator, really. The people who run the story are all the rest of the players lined up on the screen there. I am Captain Sack, or Heath, as everyone who knows me as. And this all started off with our band of adventurers not really knowing each other, but coming in to do the jobs in a small town named Adalar. A small village mostly made up of artisans and farmers with a little bit of a crafting guild, or excuse me, a merchant guild in the town. They were having their issues, arguing amongst themselves, trying to figure out who was more important. The party took on all of the jobs that they had, 3 of them, and took care of them one at a time. First, ridding the road to the north of bandits that would lead out of town to the nearest trade city of Lanceport. And then to the south, they cleared out some lizard folk who were performing a ritual turning the forest into swamp.
The difficulty out of the way before we transition.
Okay. Sorry about that. I dropped for some reason. Anyways, they cleared out all of their might and all of their strength to overcome. And they did overcome the ancient evil and sealed it away. The tablet mentioned making sure that it remains sealed forever, lest the evil be released. They then took the portents that they had found. They heard some soft footprints behind them, or soft foot patters behind them. And when they went outside, they found one of the townspeople who had been arguing, a woman by the name of Marin Marks, and the head of the Artisan Guild, a man by the name of Barden Wainwright, were there arguing a bit. They asked Merrin if they had seen anyone coming out of the mine after them or before them, to which she said no. Forced to tell the truth, however, they discovered that Merrin was a hag, and she had enthralled Barden, and a fight ensued. The party triumphed, throwing down the hag and rescuing Barden. They didn't hurt him. He was a nice guy. They returned to town only to see that it was on fire. The mayor, they helped to put out the fires. Unfortunately, the mayor was gone. His last breath and his dying words mentioned that the hag was preparing way for her sisters, that they must go to Lanceport to discover anything they could about Adelar, as she had mentioned bringing back the power that was there. The party left and made their way to Reedsong, where they found out the beautiful town of Reedsong, which in itself is cast from the woods around it. A beautiful molding of man-made necessity and nature's beauty. Trees sculpted into buildings, formed over time. Kamat, the predominant race on Kyrith, a cat people, were hither and yon all across the town, where they outfitted their newcomers, Horace and Reginald, with some new and interesting outfits. They also made up in a bar and found Yennefer dancing for room and board, and they themselves resting for the evening after making some other purchases around the town. Reedsong itself is known for its beautiful woodwind instruments that are developed there specifically from the reeds that grow along the bank of the river. The town itself is one of beauty, ran by a matron. It's a city-state in and of its own, and it is just a fantastic place. They picked up some more jobs from the Adventurers Guild because, remember, in Kyrith, you're not an adventurer unless you have a writ of permission. But they turned in the job tokens that they had, received their marks, and then picked up some new jobs. 1 here in Reedsong, 1 in Vernthal, and 3 in Lanceport. And that's where we left off last week. And I also have in here, I don't know if you can see that, I'm trying to hold it as close as I can. That is a Nilbog. There we go. It's a little goblin caster kind of thing. It's a Nilbog.
That's really cool.
Then we also have, and I think this one's really cool, a Tridrone. I had not seen this one, but check this thing out. It has, like, multiple arms.
Ew.
Yeah, it's pretty neat looking. And again, this is from the Monster Menagerie, and of course, I will save the best for last. I don't know if you can see the detail on his back. They're actually like growing from some kind of growth on his back. It's awesome looking. And I saved the best for last because I think this one is beautiful. It's a paladin. It's an Aasimar paladin with its wings out.
What?
Yes. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at that.
Dibs.
All of these, you can pick these up again from their site, www.luckydicecafé.com. Or, like I said, stop by. See the store. It's a pretty cool place, and they always have things going on. Lucky Dice Cafe. So again, we have the Stone Giant Dreamwalker, which is huge compared to this Aasimar. Let me do a little comparison on the size there. Look how big he is compared to her. And we will be doing another unboxing next week as we have more of the menagerie to go.
And Rudy Boot just did a tweet.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Rudy.
Urging people to come over and watch.
That, speaking of, tonight is something special. Now, we do have Yennefer joining us. They are not feeling well, but they will be joining us here shortly, as will Gillett. Gillett is going to be running a little bit behind as they have real-life things that are tying up their time, but they will join us about 6. So tonight, we are very blessed to have one Mr. Larry Dixon joining us, and we will be introducing him and his character in just a little bit. we want to thank everybody again for tuning in. We want to remind you that we will be doing a giveaway when we hit YouTube listeners, or excuse me, subscribers, listeners. Was this radio? When we hit, I believe we're doing a sketch at 50 and an actual art piece at 100 subscribers. We really want to get to that 100 subscriber mark, so that way we can get rid of that stupid, all the bunch of letters and garbagey gook that comes with the link and get an actual URL, a real URL. And let's, you know, it's Dire Bear if there's not something going on. All right. My OBS dove, and it's back, and it dove again. All right. It's not Dire Bear Adventuring Company if there's not a moment where it's just doing this right here. As I lose Larry again.
Right. What? I'm here for you, man.
I know, and I appreciate it. I want to thank...
I'm here for you. You're not going to lose me.
That right there, my friends. That's true dedication.
Well, it's true medication. Is what it is.
That's how we make it through a lot of our life.
That's right. That is my party role, is true medication.
All right.
Yeah, for everybody coming on in, this is Dire Bear, and we don't always have the best in the way of technical.
Yes, please bear with us.
Issues.
You folks are going to have to
bear with us.
You're going to have to bear with me just a moment as I'm going to exit and reload and hope this comes back up. I'm watching my OBS drop and dive and roll all over the place, and hopefully it will cooperate with me.
And cough and splutter.
Unfortunately, I don't have a hard line, but there's Larry back. We see him live and in color.
I am that.
Yeah, unfortunately, my bitrate and encoding speed, it's pretty down. I've got it set low so that way I can keep it up and run. The problem is that I'm on. The problem is that I am on a wireless, and it just dropped again completely. This is.
Unfortunate. This is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is a case of we need to get you an Ethernet cable. And a long one.
Yeah, a really long one.
All right, I have a question. Is there a way for me to monitor what's going on in chat while we play?
Yeah, actually, what a lot of us do is we pull Twitch up on a separate screen, and we can just watch chat, and we all mute the volume so that way it's not bleeding over.
Okay, copy that. On my way.
For that conversation.
Well, come on. I mean,
Live monitors.
I have moved over to my mobile hotspot, so we will see if that holds true for a while. It usually does a lot better than anything else. That's sad to say.
A screen for every deadly sin?
Wouldn't that be 7 at that point in time? Rolling dice and try not to die. Not any fault of mine. We all belong to RNGesus when it comes to that. Hi everyone, welcome to Dire Bear Adventuring Company, your premier DMGM spot online and offline, bringing to you games such as D&D 5e, Pathfinder, Starfinder, Star Wars, Flight of Fantasy, and just about anything else that I can get my hands on and learn. I am happy to run a game for you if you are happy to play. Tonight with us, as always, we have Maddie as Annalise, Jack playing Yenfear, Chief as Arneth, Ryan as Lucky Vents, and a special guest with us tonight, Larry Dixon, playing Ash, and we'll be introducing his character in just a little bit. Larry, let's let you do something that you always probably enjoy doing. Tell us about yourself, Larry.
What? I feel called out right now is what's happening.
Triggered.
Seriously. Totally. Oh my God! I turned into Reddit for a moment. Okay. Yeah. My name's Larry. I draw pictures. movie, write screenplay, play role-playing game, write illustrate role-playing, drive race cars.
And just about anything else that you can probably get your hands on.
If I can, I really enjoy it. Yeah.
We are
very happy to be here with you.
I'm very thankful to have you. We're getting some reverb on your mic, but we'll try to figure out what's going on with that. Do you have it broadcasting audio through the Roll20? Just verify that you've only got video being broadcast.
I am going to double check that right now. To
Excellent.
the best of my knowledge, that is the situation.
All right. Well, I did a lengthy recap here at the start, but I will go ahead and do a short one. On the last adventure, it was a shopping day. We had the party appear in Reedsong, a beautiful city, a mix of man-made and nature-made buildings, where the buildings were sculpted from trees that had been shaped and grown into these beautiful buildings, heavy boughs, thick oaks, and different trees. A river with ferries going across it on either side, and along the whole river are what the whole town is known for. These beautiful reeds that are only grown in this area, that are known and praised and sought after for their crafting in instruments, specifically woodwind instruments, and like flutes and clarinets and all sorts of things. It is pretty much like hands down the finest made instruments in all of Kyrith. The town met up with a tailor by the name of Hostar and his assistant Sala, where they outfitted Horace with new digs, and Reginald as well, although Reggie thinks he looks good, but it's orange. It's burnt umber. I apologize. That is not
Maybe
the
he's
correct.
colorblind.
It's
not
burnt
his
umber.
fault.
Maybe he looks good in burnt umber. I don't know. Maybe.
And even if he is colorblind, he didn't have a choice in what color he was put in because he laughed at Horace when Horace came out in his clothes.
That's
I
true.
wasn't there to save him.
That's true. We also
first
met a cobbler by the name of Farley, who the party broke because the monk doesn't wear shoes, and he didn't understand how someone could not wear shoes. Shoes are important. They define who you are. How could you not wear shoes? What do you do if you step on a sticker? Do you just say ow, ow, ow a lot? So, with that being said, and I understand we're getting some reverb. Hang on, let me fix that problem real quick. That should probably take care of the reverb. But the party then retired for the evening, where they went to the last tavern in the town, actually right on the outskirts of town, where they met a bartender who had not kind things to say about the Kamat. He appears to not like the Kamat very well. Called them furbacks and other not so nice things. However, the party rested for the evening. Annalise finished making an item for Arneth, and that is where we're going to pick up today. As you wake, you find yourselves in the early morning hours in the tavern that you were in at the last of the night, the Broken Bow, and you see that it's mostly empty. There are a few scragglers here and there finishing up a later breakfast. The bartender is there as usual, kind of nodding at you, Annalise, as you come down the staircase. Arneth, you are an early riser. I'm surprised you slept indoors. You probably slept outdoors in the bow of a tree. Climbed a tree and slept in the arms of it.
I mean, if the DM allows it.
I'll allow
in
it.
the arms of the maple.
Oh, gosh. And it starts. All right, so you have 5 jobs in front of you. What are you going to do?
I don't know. I don't remember.
There's one just outside of Reedsong. I think we should do that one.
This is correct. Recalling that the job outside of Reedsong was that there were some mysterious noises, strange happenings around the cairns.
I don't know how far the carrots are, but it's just outside Reedsong, so why not?
That's probably our best bet. Honest, A moment, if you would.
All right.
And Annalise is gonna hold out the cloak made from the cougar skin.
Oh.
A beautiful tawny-colored cloak that drapes down, coming to about the middle of your calves or so. The hood on it is still the top part, mouth and ears of the cougar itself.
This is gorgeous. Thank you. And I'll take it and just start looking it over, kind of oohing and eyeing and stuff, petting the fur.
From across the way, the tavern, the innkeeper looks at you and says, "Huh? So, you skinned one of them, eh?"
No. No.
Sure.
Oh, no.
The best thing for a fur back. Wearing the fur on your back. Alright? Am I right? Huh? Huh? No?
You would be, sir, if this had actually been a Kumat. However, this was one of the cougars that attacked us on our way to Reedsong.
Well, maybe they'll take it as a sign to leave you alone.
Can I punch him?
It would probably be advised that you don't.
I'm sure all of the Kamat will love that outfit that you've got on.
I'll just lean over to Arneth and just be like, he's not even worth it. Just don't punch him, trust me. It's not worth it.
But it'll make me feel better.
You probably would. Maybe you should.
You know, I'm all for self-care, but not this time. Just let it go.
He's kind of a jerk, though.
Alright, I'm gonna fold up the cloak and
Kind of
try
fold
to
it up.
find a place to put it instead of wearing it.
All right. So you're going to put it away, thankful for it, but understanding that it
Yes.
might be frowned upon to wear a cat skin
Yeah.
around a bunch of people who are cat folk.
Yeah.
Might be a bit of a faux
Little-
pas, like White
yeah,
after
a
Labor
little-
Day.
A fur paw.
Remember,
Oh, come
folks,
on.
I
How
asked
did you
for
not see
this.
that coming?
I love it. All right.
That was like your testicle,
Low-hanging
low-hanging fruit.
Low-hanging fruit. All right. So, with that being said, what are you guys doing now?
Well, we have to go see a matron, so perhaps that is where we should start.
All right. So you want to head to where the matron stays there at the. All right. Easy enough to find. You make your way back towards the main part of town, cutting up the main road, which runs right by the river. You can easily make your way to the beautiful house, or the beautiful house that is made out of the large trees on either corner, on any corner. The boughs sweeping together to form a steeple. A huge stained glass window, which at first glance looks to be made out of a myriad of different things, but as you look closer, you can see that it is like a beautiful tapestry of natural light, and it depicts like the formation of life as a seedling growing into this abundant life, and what originally looks like just a mishmash of glass actually is a beautiful sculptured window telling a poem or a story. The door to itself is a big double 10-foot wide construct, and it is open on both sides. The stairs leading up. It's nice and dark inside, but not like dark in shadows, just that it's not well lit inside, that you can see right away.
Before we go in there, I'm gonna check that I stole a little pouch from the matron, or at least from
One of the sisters.
yeah, that's what it was. One of the sisters, and I never looked in it, so I'm gonna look quickly while everyone's walking ahead, just like.
It's a few silver, some copper, just some coins.
Dang.
Like 3 silver and about 12 copper.
What are you hoping to find?
I don't know. Cool
You
stuff.
stole her life savings, you asshole.
You piece of shit.
She was one day away from retirement.
but none of you know.
You get too old for this shit.
I'll make a sizable donation. I'll make a donation of
Whatever's in the pouch.
Of course you will.
2 silver and 12 copper.
yes.
Wow.
Excellent.
A real philanthropist.
All right. Who are you guys? You're making your way in. Who's leading the way?
Well, not me. That's for sure.
Not you. Okay.
Enfear, you're back. You're gone all day yesterday.
You know, I gotta indulge my flights of fancy sometimes.
Do anything interesting? Did you kill anyone?
No.
Dead bodies?
Is that normally what you do, or is that just another
No.
Friday night? or-
Just another Tuesday for Lucky.
Of course not. Who would have to do that?
I enjoyed some music and wine. That's
All right.
Sounds fun.
This is so awkward.
So are you heading inside?
Yeah.
All right.
I'll lead the way.
Okay, Arneth, as you step inside, it is cool. There are small candles lit here and there. Most of the light contained in tall candle holders made out of wood. There are about 8 of the sisters dressed in the very wood-colored robes, hoods pulled up. You see a mix of Kamat and human, elf, maybe a dwarf or two. They are all sitting around the altar. They're kneeling as though they're in their morning prayer meditation. At the altar is another figure with her back to you, and she is also kneeling at this it's a very ornate altar, and it's shaped like a large tree. And as you look, the roots of the tree are actually in the ground. The tree itself goes all the way up almost to the ceiling, and you see small buds of life on the tree itself. It seems polished, but at the same time very, very natural.
I bet I could climb that.
don't.
I'm not, but I'm just saying I
I
probably
bet you
could.
could.
As you walk
Silver
in,
and a cup of copper.
one of the sisters stands and walks over to you. It's a dwarven woman. She seems to be middle-aged for a dwarf. Her hair, which is blonde, is tied back, and there's just a little bit of graying at the tips of her hair. She smiles and she nods her head and she says, "Welcome to the sanctuary of the Most Holy Matron. How may we be of service?"
We're here for a bounty.
You've
We
come.
need to speak to Sister Meridol.
Ah, Sister Meridol. Yes, just a moment. She goes over to one of the ladies that's kneeling there and kind of taps her on the shoulder. You see, rising from a kneeling position, Kamat. Her fur is thicker. It's like a tabby. It's got the orange with white stripes in it, And she walks over to you. She bows her head to you. "I am Sister Meridol. How may I help you?"
And Arneth is going to step aside and let someone else talk who actually knows why we're here.
Let me open my little book here, and I'll tell you exactly why we're here. Mrs. or Ms.
Sister is fine. Thank you.
Yeah. I don't know who this is. Actually, I didn't write this down. Is it the Reed Song one?
Yes.
The mysterious sounds outside near the old cairns?
That's correct.
I didn't write down the contact for that.
That's all right.
Sister.
So glad you guys keep it together, because I don't know what's going on ever.
Not like the DM
We
doesn't have all of
know.
his notes.
I mean, I could technically use
you
Keen
could
Mind.
you could technically use Keen Mind. You are correct.
I won't do that.
I would not hate you for it. I would be put out, but I wouldn't hate you for it. All right.
We're like, wow, really? We're gonna do that?
So you ask her about the mysterious sounds, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. She tells you, yes, so the cairns are a place of memory for the matrons that have gone on before us. Most of them are fine, but we were visiting the oldest, the Widow of the Wind, and we had noticed strange sounds coming from around the cairn. We were all terrified, so we fled back here to the safety of the matron. We simply ask that you investigate the sound. If it is something that needs to be put to rest, please do so, and let us know once you are done.
Could you describe the sound? Was it like
She kind of furrows her brow at you a little bit, and you see her tail swish quickly behind her. I'm sorry, it was strange, terrifying. A wailing. A kind of a keen wail, sadness, crept into the notes. It shook us all to the core and we ran. I'm sorry, but I can't tell you much more than that.
Huh. And you didn't, aren't there people for that? I don't know. Perform exorcisms or whatever.
Yes.
I mean,
that is the Adventurers Guild. That is why we put out the job listing for you. You are the people for this. That will be discussed with the Adventurers Guild. You will receive full marks for what you have done.
All right, we did that. Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm new to this whole guild thing.
Yeah.
You are adventurers, aren't you? You have your writs with you, correct?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Oh.
I just didn't. I didn't realize that being part of the guild meant I had to, put spirits to rest. That's fine. That's fine.
You didn't have to take it.
Well, I mean,
You get dental. Come on.
Dental?
No, it's okay. No, it's fine. It's fine. We'll handle it. Thank you.
Oh,
Really? You sound kind of scared.
thank you.
Yeah, you can always stay behind.
Coming from the man who clung to the back of my cloak while we were in the mines.
I don't know what you're talking about.
An hour's march into the woods is a small trail that will lead... My map is full!
Look at Steve.
Hello.
Hours.
Hello.
An hour's march into the woods, you'll find a small trail that will lead you to the Widow of the Wind's cairn. Please, go investigate for us. Put to rest whatever is there and troubling us so that we may once again pay homage to the matrons that have gone.
Do you want us to bring anything back from the cairn?
She smiles. It's me.
It's not you, it's me.
It's me. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
It's
We're
not
back.
me, it's me.
I'm so sorry. I'm gonna be right back because Larry isn't here. He's in black screen.
What the
Oh,
hell?
he's here. I see him.
It's no.
It's
It's on
me.
Cap's side. It's fine. It's just on Cap's side.
Yeah. Goodness
Well,
me.
how are you, Jack?
You're making that up.
Welcome.
However, ladies and gentlemen, just so you know, we can fix these issues if we are able to have better production quality, and to do so, we need your help.
Please
Yeah.
subscribe
Plug.
on Twitch. Visit our Patreon and join the Adventuring Club.
Subscribe.
You can be
The
a
more you
dire
give,
bear.
the less clothes we wear.
The less clothes he wears.
It's true.
I
And
already took
me.
the sweater off.
Well, all
Step
right.
2.
Well, in that
Get my wallet.
Our first major is going to be a very long Ethernet cable,
180 feet.
Did you
so that
measure?
we can directly plug into the router, which will reduce and hopefully eliminate a lot of these issues. But we can't do that without your support.
How many
honestly.
feet is your store from Toronto? Let's look that up.
Ryan,
I'll hook you up to my cable.
It's just plug in
There-
mine. I pay a lot.
Run
for
a
my
line.
internet.
Bear with me a moment.
My roommates aren't home usually on Mondays, so you know.
Now, Cap, alternatively, what we could do is we could have one of the players run the stream through the Dire Bear channel.
It might end up having to be
I,
that because of the fact that
yeah.
it's a good solid connection. Just OBS keeps dropping on me. So
Yeah, it's because you're overloading it.
Yeah, I don't say this to brag, but because of the type of work that I do, I actually own my own internet tower.
Wow.
you know the funny thing
is.
is I'm not even surprised.
Like, oh, really? Okay.
And
I've been in the market for a sugar daddy.
And obviously it has first purchase on top of it. But,
All right,
Yeah.
what we were saying, folks, is that we can fix these technical issues. I know we're having technical issues, and I want to thank everybody for hanging in with us.
Yeah.
We need your support. We need you guys to visit our Patreon page and subscribe to us on Twitch and do us everything. We are in our infancy, and the only way we will grow is with your support. Join the Dire Bear Adventuring Company. Be a bear with
you know
us.
what? Cap, can you send me the stream key?
I can.
Or have Morgan, could you send me the stream key?
There you go.
And then we'll just, once I get that, we'll close stream for about 5 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll switch over to me hosting it. It should be smooth sailing from
That
there.
sounds great. That sounds like a fantastic idea. All right.
I
In
know,
the
and
meantime, you all have been
sounds
tasked
odd.
with visiting with Merida to visiting the Widow of the Wind, Cairn, about an hour or so march outside of town. As you go to leave the building, you see Gillett kind of running up behind you guys. Late breakfast. Sorry.
Did you sleep in a little bit there, Gillett?
Well, I mean, I would have been here faster, but somebody kept trying to give me shoes.
Oh, did he come find you again?
You see
I
behind
didn't
him
look back long
about
enough to find out.
100 feet behind him, the small dwarven or small gnomish guy, white tufts of hair, bald head which is red from screaming, "You need shoes!"
I'll go up to that guy and just be like, listen, I suggest you just go back home. And I cast suggestion.
But he has no shoes. He needs shoes.
Suggested. Amazing.
What about shoes?
And
he's-
he's quite the word block.
He actually
basically
has
make
like a
wisdom
pair
save.
of carved wooden shoes, like the good old fashioned clogs.
Clogs.
And he's like,
Yeah.
"These would make an excellent shoe for you, and they're made of wood. Clack, clack, clack. You could kick someone with them, and they would do a lot of damage."
I mean, he's not wrong.
Shoes.
Shh. I suggest I guess to make a wisdom saving throw.
the guy actually completely read you by saying they'll do more damage.
Gotta give
Are
him
you
credit.
rolling casting suggestion on him?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I love it. Gonna burn his suggestions.
Yeah.
What were you suggesting?
I suggest you just leave us alone and go home.
Yeah, okay, excellent idea. And he turns around. He's still muttering. "I don't understand why he doesn't need shoes. Everyone needs shoes. They're just shoes. They're fantastic creations. Some of the best things since, I don't know, loaves of bread." And he just kind of wanders off back away from you all. All right. Where to?
You owe me, Gillett.
We're off to the woods.
All right. Into the
The
woods.
Cairns.
Into the woods. Da-da-da-dun, da-da-da-dun. Excellent. You make your way out of town, heading in the direction that they meant, towards the mountains, and you come across the path. Larry, Aj, you've been tasked by the Warden Master to investigate particular goings-on in the area. Setting off from your home, your eyrie, far away, you find yourself sailing over the Horseshoe Mountains. You see below you the mountain kingdom of Silverhaven and Vernthal turning a large circle in the air.
Mm.
You see the town of Reedsong and the source of the issue. folding your wings in, diving down quickly, only to open them wide, catching the wind and sailing, buffeting softly and leveling off your dive. You see figures below you. An odd mix, a motley crew, making their way into the woods, kind of the same direction that you're heading. Other than the livestock and the small life that you've seen here and there, animals scurrying, deer, squirrels, things like that, you've seen no other entities around.
Okay, my first question about this group, are they arguing?
It seems to be more like light jabs at one another, just jibing. But they seem to be...
That's close enough.
What's that?
Now I know that... Well, I mean, if they were arguing, I'd know they were an adventure party.
You see below you, with your sharp eyes, you see a figure, a hat, almost like a tri-corner hat that comes up in the end and flares up, a long coat on of black or dark leather, walking almost beside them but kind of behind, chattering away. You see a very foppishly dressed individual with a wild mop of reddish hair. Behind them you see two half-orcs, one wearing no shoes, dressed in light clothing, and the other one dressed in armor and a cloak the color of the wood, so dark greens and browns. And behind them, kind of taking a stutter step every once in a while to try to keep up, you see a figure dressed in black from head to toe, a light clothing. You kind of see the ears flopping in there every once in a while. Definitely some sort of elf. And they seem to be heading towards the direction that you've been sensing something amiss. Your tie with nature seems to be a...
The new fucking headset, so... Second.
All right, well, I just reconnected because it dropped again on me, so give me just 1 second.
Okay.
Yeah.